Welcome in, fellow warriors of the Abyss. In today's video, I will be diving into the shadows to uncover the absolute best Souls-like games of 2023. Whether you are new to the genre, or a seasoned Ashen one seeking new challenges in the realm of punishing yet exhilarating gameplay, this is the video for you. Even though 2023 has been a rather desolate year on the official Souls front, fear not, for developers far and wide have been gracing us with Souls-like banger after banger to keep the esters flowing and the bonfire burning bright. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Kicking off 2023, and on the 3rd of March, Wolong Fallen Dynasty was released by Team Ninja, the developers of the popular Souls-like series Nioh, and co-developed with the creators of the Dynasty Warriors franchise. Wolong Fallen Dynasty follows the story of a nameless militia soldier, as you fight your way through an alternate reality supernatural version of the later Han Dynasty, where demons run rampant around the Three Kingdoms. In the game, you will do battle with a whole variety of deadly creatures and enemy soldiers, wielding ancient armaments of Chinese origin. These range from straight sabers and curved blades to pole arms and halberds, with each weapon complemented by your own martial arts prowess, combined with the use of wizardry spells. Each weapon offers a very unique moveset and playstyle, with its own skill tree that can make focusing on a particular style very rewarding. And with some grinding, you can unlock some very powerful combos. At its heart, Wolong is a very challenging massacre Souls-like game, taking many attributes from FromSoftware's Dark Souls, but more closely related to Sekiro's Shadows Die Twice. Playing from a third-person perspective, the game features fast-paced, punishing melee combat, where deflecting and parrying enemy attacks will force you to strategize and learn enemy behavior patterns, and how best to counter them. The looting mechanic takes cues from games like Diablo, where items have different rarities and roll with randomized stats and attributes on them, that can further specialise your playstyle if you invest the time into the system. For those who have played Nioh 1 and 2, Wolong Fallen Dynasty will feel very familiar to you, but this time with a whole new world to explore and an action-packed story to dive into. The Last Faith. Released on 15th of November by Kumi Souls Games, The Last Faith is a dark, gothic fusion of Souls-like and Metroidvania reminiscent of Sultan Sanctuary and Blasphemous. In The Last Faith, you will play as Eric, a gruff amnesiac man who finds himself infected with Nycrux, a disease which mutates people into monsters. In order to cure Eric, you must travel along the snow-capped mountains and brave the city of Mithrangal, and kill anything that gets in your way as you race against time for salvation, as your mind and conscience begin to deteriorate. The combat is mostly hack and slash, being able to equip a variety of melee weapons from swords, whips and scythes, along with some guns and magic spells for ranged options. As with other Metroidvanias, non-linear exploration is at the core of The Last Faith, as well as some absolutely stunning pixel art animations, from the gory execution moves when Eric downs a weakened enemy to the colossal and terrifying boss enemies. Overall, this game is a must-play for any Souls-like Metroidvania fan, covering all the bases that you would expect from the genre. And while it doesn't necessarily excel at any of them, it is still a challenging and fun game to add to the experience. Lords of the Fallen. On 23rd of October 2023, CI Games released their sequel/reboot to their 2014 title, also named Lords of the Fallen. In this new Lords of the Fallen, you will travel across two parallel worlds in an epic quest to overthrow the demon god Adir, utilising many familiar mechanics from other Souls-likes. This epic ARPG is set in a dark fantasy world 5 times larger than the original game. The main unique element that Lords of the Fallen has to offer is the Umbral, a parallel world that seamlessly runs alongside the main world that can be accessed at will by lifting your lamp. But this other world is not to be trifled with, as the longer you stay within this alternate world of death and decay, the more aggressive the undead around you become. The visuals are surprisingly breathtaking, Elden Ring breathtaking, but don't go thinking you will have time to just sit around and take in the sights, as while the world in Lords of the Fallen is vast and spectacular, it is not sparse in enemies by any means, and you will spend most of your time dealing with hordes of enemies left, right and centre. The combat is par for the course with your typical ARPG, with 9 different classes to choose from and a whole host of weird and wonderful weapons to wield. For me, Lords of the Fallen feels like more than just another Souls-like. Its unique Umbral world design and mechanics, while at first may seem like just a novelty mechanic, are actually far cleverer, and have some interesting combat applications too. If you like a punishing, no-holds-barred, gloves-off kind of Souls-like, then buckle yourself in, because Lords of the Fallen is just the game for you. Blasphemous 2. In August, Team 17 released Blasphemous 2, their eagerly awaited sequel to 2019's Blasphemous. The story continues the violent trials of the Penitent One, the last living member of an order that's trying to put an end to the abominations born from a godlike phenomenon known as the Miracle. From the get-go, you'll hack and slash your way through some absolutely stunning and gruesome corridors, filled with horrific monsters, perform life-threatening feats of platforming prowess, and go up against nightmare-inducing bosses. Upgrading your character's weapons, health and magic meters, and acquiring various buffs and spells make for an epic ascension to unparalleled power. Where Blasphemous focused almost solely on its combat, Blasphemous 2 spends an equal amount of time testing your reflexes with increased demanding platforming section. It also introduces you to 3 new weapons as a replacement to the Maya Cup, which was your only option during the first Blasphemous. All 3 new weapons come with their own unique movement abilities. The War Sensor is a powerful flail that lets you hit bells to reveal hidden platforms and open block passageways for a short amount of time. It also has a long reach and deals an insane amount of damage. There's also the lightning fast rapier and dagger that let you dash through mirrors to traverse quickly and pass through certain otherwise impassable barriers. And last but by no means least, the all-rounder Praying Blade that lets you do a downward attack that decimates enemies and obstructions. Blasphemous 2 is a great sequel and addition to the Souls-like Metroidvania genre. And while it doesn't really bring anything unique to the format, its beautiful pixel art, sound design and grotesque art style are well worth experiencing. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. On 28th of April 2023, Respawn Entertainment released the follow-up to their critically acclaimed game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, titled Jedi Survivor. In Jedi Survivor, the story of Cal Kestis continues 5 years after the events of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and follows Cal's increasingly desperate fight as the galaxy descends further into darkness. Unlike other sequels, Survivor chucks you straight in with all the powers and abilities you learnt during Fallen Order. Almost immediately, you are granted new ability after new ability, from a Sekiro-esque grapple to a mid-air dash that, when coupled with the double jump, really helps to create a fluid pace in traversal. The combat in Jedi Survivor takes what we had in Fallen Order to new heights, and lightsaber fights are what we are all really here for anyway. And Jedi Survivor treats us with 5 different fighting stances that help to create some absolutely epic fighting sequences that even George Lucas would be proud of. Even if you are absolutely trash at parrying, dodging and perfectly timing your attacks, dismembering stormtroopers and other enemies will make you feel like a true Jedi master. Personally, I felt Jedi Survivor was a 50-50 success. It took all the gaming mechanics from Fallen Order and made them even better. However, the story didn't feel as immersive or gripping to me, and couple that with having some notorious performance issues really took away from the overall experience. But that being said, since its release, Respawn Entertainment have been working hard releasing several patches to try and resolve the performance issues. If you're a Star Wars fan, then Jedi Survivor is a must-play, and most fans of the Souls-like genre will have a fun old time traversing the galaxy. And if you want that true Souls feel, then playing on Jedi Grandmaster difficulty is the way to go. Remnant 2. Coming off the success of Remnant from the Ashes, aka Dark Souls with Guns, in 2019, Remnant 2 was released on the 25th of July 2023. Just like From the Ashes, the story has you playing as a nameless survivor in a post-apocalyptic Earth where a race of evil trees called the Root are trying to take over the multiverse. All your usual Souls-like mechanics are here in all their glory, from limited use heals, checkpoints and respawning enemies, but with the added bonus of being a co-op looter-shooter. One new feature from its predecessor is the class mechanics. You can unlock and level up 11 different classes through exploration, and in one case, a very interesting puzzle that unlocks traits for you to level up, upgrade, and improve your abilities. You can mix and match any 2 of the 11 classes to create vastly unique playstyles that can be fun to combine, especially in co-op play, where you can cover each other's weaknesses and really make them shine. What makes Remnant 2 stand apart from your usual Souls-like is its inclusion of loot grinding, build crafting, and procedurally generated levels that allow you and your teammates to jump between a huge variety of diverse worlds to play. It also features collapsing boss arenas, a madness mechanic, and insane reality switching bosses. The combat in Remnant 2 is where it vastly differs to your usual Souls-like, but the gunplay is a total blast. With each new area, you will find yourself in a ballet of shooting, dodging, strategically using abilities and trying not to get swamped by hordes of enemies, ready and willing to rip you limb from limb. If you find yourself looking for something slightly different to your usual Souls-like, then Remnant 2 is definitely the game for you. And due to the procedurally generated levels, the replayability of this game is insane. Lies of P. And last but by no means least, Lies of P was released on the 19th of September 2023 and has taken the Souls-like genre by storm. Lies of P is a thrilling Souls-like developed by NeoWiz that takes the story of Pinocchio and turns it on its head, and sets it against the darkly elegant backdrop of the Belle Epoque era. Created by Geppetto, you play as P, a puppet caught in a web of lies with unimaginable monsters and untrustworthy figures standing between you and the events that have befallen the world. You are awakened by a mysterious voice that guides you through the plagued city of Krat, a once lively place that has been poisoned by madness and bloodlust. Lies of P just exudes FromSoftware's signature style in mechanics for a fantastic Souls-like, with both the menus and the UI having a striking resemblance to the Dark Souls we all know and love. Plus, given the era the game is set in, it also makes it feel very Bloodborne-y. However, combat-wise, you'll feel much more at home in Sekiro, as Lies of P is very parry/perfect block heavy, but with even narrower iframes for success. In Lies of P, you will discover a whole variety of different weapons, most of which will have some form of elemental ability, whether it be fire, shock, or acid. And not only that, but you can mix and match your blades and handles to create the perfect weapon for whichever situation you find yourself in. Want to have a giant wrench on the end of a rapier handle? Go for it. Akin to Sekiro, you also have a prosthetic arm which can be upgraded and customized to aid you in your battles against puppets, humans, and carcasses. And while Lies of P feels very Soulsy, in my opinion, it actually has its own identity and feels separate from your usual Souls-like. The variety in both style and difficulty of the bosses keeps you on your toes at all times. Another similarity to Bloodborne specifically is that you can't fully restore your health lost from direct attacks by striking back at your enemies, but you are given the ability to partially block some of that incoming damage, then counter to restore the chip damage you absorbed. This results in an aggressive gameplay being encouraged, and that keeps fights moving along at a quick pace, but it also discourages more defensive playstyles. One area where I think Lies of P stands above the Souls-like crowd is with its music. And not only is the boss music superb, but as part of the game you'll find vinyl records containing tracks that you can play as and when you like. And these are all beautiful pieces of music in their own right, and really help to build the atmosphere of the game. For me, Lies of P is the standout Souls-like of 2023. And I highly recommend that if you are only to pick up one game from this video, then Lies of P is the one to go for. It ticks every Souls-like box, and then brings a whole new vibe along with it. And for now, that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Souls content.